Hey, GETMADE Squad, and welcome back to my channel. I hope this video finds you in wonderful, great, excellent spirits. So I am getting ready to hang out with the kiddos. So I got my active mom, comfortable gear on so I can, if I need to grab and protect and block whatever, have fun. I'm ready, I'm comfortable, I'm in the right gear. So, I still try to be like a little bit cute, but really I don't care as long as I'm comfortable from the neck down. My makeup and hair will be cute enough to speak for itself. So I'm getting ready to do that because I love when I can have 2 days off with the kiddos so we can, really have some fun together, because sometimes I only get 1 day off and you only have that 1 day to try to cram everything in. So it's really nice when you can spread it over the 2 days. So I am blessed and thankful to have that. So before we get started, I want you to grab a reflective surface, whether it's your cell phone camera, whether, I don't know, you want to put an Instagram, filter, or Snapchat, whatever, or the old-fashioned mirror. I need you to grab a reflective surface and you look at yourself and tell yourself, I love you, you're wonderful, you're awesome, you're amazing. And list, like, when you say that, say something specific that you like about yourself. You need to do this whether you are going through down times or whether you're going through, like right now, your life is amazing and things are falling, clicking into place and you're happy and loved and all the other stuff. Doesn't matter whether you're on the high or the low, the middle, wherever you're at, you still always want to remind yourself of that. You don't want to ever lose that self-love. So you always want to tell yourself you're proud of yourself, you're wonderful, you love yourself. Things are, if you're in a bad place, things are going to get better. Tell yourself we're going to get a game plan, this is what we're going to do. But be, like I've always said before, be your own cheerleader. Okay, and you cheer people on even when they're doing well. Like when you're watching a sporting event, yes, the cheerleaders will get even more hype and everything when their team is behind, but even when a team is doing well, they still get hyped because you still want to get that momentum going. You don't want that momentum to stop. So you're still like, yes, we got it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're almost to the end. We're going to win this, blah, 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 blah. Same thing you want to do for yourself. Like, even if everything's going well, you want to keep pushing yourself, like, keep going, keep going. Everyone still has a goal. Even when their life is going well, they still have that end goal. So you still want to keep telling yourself, yeah, we're doing well, we're doing good, keep going, we're almost reaching the end. Yeah. And then after you reach that goal, you set another goal. And then if you're in one of the places where you're kind of lower in the midpoint, the cheering is going to help you on as well, and telling yourself, I love you. Hey, we had a minor setback. We were down about it, we cried about it, we were upset, but now we got to pick ourselves back up. We can't stay right here. This is not doing us any good staying at this level. So tell yourself, let's go. We got to get it. All right? So take your time to do that. Put this video on pause. Doesn't take that long to do that, to pump yourself up or to get yourself going, motivate yourself, tell yourself you love yourself. Like I said, mention something, a trait, a quality you like about yourself, or if there's something you accomplished this past week, tell yourself, you know what you did this week? Do you know what you did? You had all this stacked up against you and you were still able to A, B, C, and D. Or A. If you just did A, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Just still cheer yourself on, okay? Small, big, doesn't matter. Alright, so I like to start my videos off with some positive type of message for you guys to motivate you, empower you, so we can all reach and achieve our better selves, our best selves, put our best selves forward into the world. We only get this life once, so we just need to make the most out of it while we're here in the moment. Just go for it, do it, you got this. Before, let me go ahead and grab my primer while I'm talking to you guys. I'm almost out. I'm pretty much out, so hopefully today the kids will allow me to stop and get some more. But this is the Ulta Matte Face Primer. For primer, I press my primer into the places I know that need coverage, like my T-zone, so all my oily areas. I get oily here, here, around here, here. I get oily a lot on my skin. So I'm pressing that on there. And then I like to rub it into my face. Especially if the primer doesn't have any directions on it, this is what I like to do. Kind of like when you put your moisturizer on, you want to press that into the skin, really work it in there so it can activate and start doing this magic on your skin, doing what it needs to do. But if there are specific directions on your primer, always make sure you follow directions that are on the packaging. They're there for a reason. So YouTube recommended this video. And from this particular YouTuber, I was like, why am I getting recommendations for this? And I kept, ignoring it. So finally I watched it. His name is Robert Welsh, and he has a twin. And Robert does the makeup, and his twin, I think it's James, I believe. I might be able to correct. He does skincare and hair care. So anyway, I've been watching more of Robert because I'm more into makeup. But really quickly, I want to say this. The number one key to have a flawless foundation base, or even if you don't wear makeup, the number one key to have glowing, radiant skin is skincare. If you do not have a skincare routine, your face is going to look dull. It's not going to be radiant and glowing whether you wear makeup or not. You have to have a skincare routine. There's so many things we eat and put in our bodies. There's so much pollutants in the air. And there's just other natural things our body does to clean itself and to make sure it's working and operating at optimal levels. So you have to clean that stuff off. You have to pull out the impurities. You have to clean your skin and really make sure you are treating it well. So just like you treat your body well, and you take a shower and you buy all those scrubs and oils and soaps and bath soaps and all the other stuff, the same way you treat and do that to your skin, your body, your face is skin. You still need to do the same thing, because it's exposed more to the elements, right? Because especially during the winter, we cover up long sleeves, pants. Your whole body's pretty much covered up except your face. Your face is still exposed, and you have to use products that actually work for you. So you can watch, all of us on here on YouTube. You can be on Instagram and things like that, but you still gotta use what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you. So try stuff out, find what works for you, and stick with it. Don't just change it because someone's telling you to get the latest product that came out. Use what works for you. Works for you, works for you, okay? And you gotta use it for a while. You can't use it for like a week and go, oh, this doesn't work. Products don't work like that, even for your hair. They don't work. They're not gonna do what they do in a whole week. Some will, but most of them, it takes a while for it to really get in there, clean out everything, and then start doing the results that it needs to do. So give it some time before you just quit and leave it alone. Now, if it breaks you out, does something really weird, of course, the first time, chunk it, let it go. It's not for you. All right, so I just want to put that out there before we continue, because that's the foundation you need before we continue to the next steps. So anyway, I was watching Robert Welsh. He's a professional makeup artist. So he's been doing makeup for as long as I've been doing makeup. Probably been doing makeup a little bit longer than he has, because I believe I'm a little older than he is. So just based off my assumptions, I haven't watched his videos enough, but just based on what he's saying, I believe that I am older than he is. So anywho, a lot of the things that he says about makeup, like he says makeup is a theory. So a lot of stuff he says about makeup theory, I already do. But there's some things that he's mentioned in a few videos, and I'm like, So I tried them and they work. Okay, so as he says, or as we all say, makeup doesn't have any rules. And I've said that before on my channel. Do what you want to do. This is your life, as long as it's not as long as it's making you happy and not upsetting anybody else or hurting them in any way. Not upsetting, because it's going to upset someone. As long as it's not hurting them in any way, do whatever makes you happy. But as I was watching his videos, it clicked into place. Makeup doesn't have rules, but there is a theory to makeup, right? So I was like, I like that. That's true. There is a theory to certain things you do. So it's not a rule, but a theory to get you to the finish that you want, to get the results that you want. There's a theory to it, right? So it's just like science and experimentation. There's a theory to all that to get the results that you want. So anyway, this is going to be in-depth video just to let you know. I'll try to edit it down and as much as I can, but just to let you know, I'm going to try to give you as much information as I can, because I pretty much changed my foundation routine. That's going to be the title of this, is the changing of the foundation routine, based off of just, like I said, the way I've watched with him. One of the things that he says that I've always said on my channel, is when you put your primer on, give it a chance to marinate. Let it marinate to the skin. Let it do its thing. Give it a chance. Don't just put your primer on and then immediately put on your foundation. Just let it soak and do its thing. When you're watching these beauty gurus and these tutorials and things like that, a lot of things they do is just for the camera. It's just because it looks cool and the editing effects of it. So for everyday makeup, or if you're trying to get into doing makeup professionally, you do not need that on clients. You do not need that on yourself. The products will, if you have good products, good quality products, they will do what they do, and you don't need to layer them and layer them and layer them and layer them. Always start with a little bit, and you can always build up. But once you put on so much, it is very, 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 very difficult to take it away. It's very difficult. Some stuff you just can't. Like once it's on there, it's on there. It ain't going nowhere unless you use the makeup wipe and start all the way over.
Sometimes our love is clear horizons, but sometimes I feel I'm lost at sea. I'm in love so deep, but I need you to guide me. My lighthouse, right next to the ocean, where I won't be insecure, 'cause you give me air to breathe when I'm feeling unsure. I wanna be ocean.
First off, what I'm going to do is, I've done this before. This is not a new technique. I haven't done it in a while because I'll forget. Like, I'll get back on it. Like, It's My Ray Ray will do that first. And so I watch her and I go, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. And but every day I just forget. But now I got to remember to do it because my whole technique is changing. So what I am blabbing on about is putting on your powder. So this is, oh sorry, disclaimer, this is only for people who have oily skin. If you do not have oily skin, do not do this step. It's like I said before, when you're watching tutorials and stuff like that, you have to know your skin type and you have to learn your skin where it works best for you. This has been said by not just myself, like Robert Welsh, Jackie Ina will say it. I don't watch a lot of makeup tutorials, so it's like it's hard for me to tell you different people who do it. I know for sure It's My Ray Ray does it, and I'm sure there's other beauty gurus or makeup experts, or professional makeup artists that do this. I just don't watch a lot, so I can't remember. Or the ones I watch, I just don't remember if they do it or not. So I'm gonna use Beauty Bakery Flour Setting Powder, which I am like at the very bottom of the scrape of the barrel on it. I want to get some more, but I said this before, I want to try Black Opal. So I'm going to try to remember to stop by, because only certain Walmarts in my area sell Black Opal. So I want to go by and try that, because I've heard that it's a really good powder, before I go and stock back up on Beauty Bakery. Alright, so this part that you're doing here, again, only for oily skin. Oily skin only. If you do not have oily skin, don't do this because you're just going to accentuate the dry patches on your face. So I'm just packing on powder. Again, the powder soaks up the oil on your face. Basically, we are creating a barrier for the oil so it won't break through. So I'm I do have dry like right here, but oily close to the nostrils, so I have to be very careful not to put too much powder in that dry area. So I could get another brush, but I'm being lazy, so I'm just going to squeeze this one. Sometimes you can just change stuff up. So I'm just patting that in that area. Now, he doesn't like setting sprays. He doesn't like them as a final step. Because sometimes it changes the way your products sit on your face. It could just change the texture of everything on your face because you're using it as a final step. Using the blue marble setting spray. Make sure I gave a double dose to those oily areas. So we're gonna let it dry for a little bit. But back to what I was saying, everyday use, try this method. I don't feel like you need a setting spray as your final step. But, however, I still feel like if you are doing a special event, like if you are bride or if you are going outside, like I said, if you're doing like outdoor concerts and things like that, I feel like you're going to need to put a final barrier against the outside elements. So if you're going to be outside or if you're going to be sweating a lot, I feel like you need this barrier. And you might want to use an alcohol-based barrier so that, you know, it's waterproof and nothing moves on your face. So like I like Blue Marble, but then, like I said before, there's a green one and that one's more alcohol-based, where the blue one is water-based. So you can use that one every day. You want to use a setting spray based on your skin type. So of course, if you are oily, use one that's going to mattify you. If you are dry skin, use one that's going to moisturize and give you that dewy finish. Same with your primer. You can use different primers for different parts of your face. You know, like I said, I'm combination skin. So if I wanted to, I could use that mattifying one in my oily areas and then get a moisturizing one and put that in my dry areas. That way, the mattifying is not drying out my dry areas. So keep that in mind. That will give you that smooth base, that flawless skin by doing that. All right, so let's move on to foundation. If you look on my channel, I've said this before, I do not color correct. I could color correct if I wanted to because I do have acne scars. So with color correction, you can color correct your acne scars or different discoloration on your face. And that way when you apply your foundation, it's flawless. Nothing's coming through. You just have this even skin complexion. But normally I just don't have time. Like I'm just happy I have time to put on foundation. So every day I don't color correct. Now, color correct if you need to. It's just like with anything. If you have a flawless face, like you don't have any acne scarring, no bumps, nothing, you just been blessed with perfect skin, you don't need foundation. Like, what are you covering up? There's nothing for you to cover up. Like, you've been blessed. You can save your money on foundation. You don't need it. If you want to have like maybe like a completed look, you can always just go over your face with like some powder, like with like a light powder, just to kind of complete it and tie it into your eyeshadow look if you did like some type of dramatic eye look. But if you don't need it, don't use it. That's just with anything in life. If you don't need it, don't use it. Don't use it because someone told you you have to have it. If you really don't need it, don't use it. And I've said this like in a video probably like 2 years ago or something like that, when I think I did a color correction video. Make sure the color correction blends in with your skin, meaning it doesn't need to be dark. If you're fair skin tone like my skin tone and lighter, you do not need a dark color corrector. You need, so that deep orange, you're going to need more of a peachy shade. Of course, if you're a darker skin tone, you're going to need the darker orange because you have a deeper skin tone. It's like, I don't want to be mean, but it's just common sense, right? You know, get what matches your skin tone. Just get what matches your skin tone, and you will look just flawless no matter what lighting you are in, because you are using what goes well with your face. Don't rush through your base. You know, I've done this. I've been guilty of that before. I used to rush through my base, and then I would get to work and get under those harsh lights at work and be like, ooh, girl. Oh, what is wrong? And then I've already used setting spray, so I've already set that mess on my face. So now I'm sitting at work trying to figure out what I'm going to do, because now my face looks like crap. So just make sure you're really blending and making sure everything's looking good on the face. Now we're moving on to concealer. Now he recommends putting on concealer here and here. Blend, and then what you have left, kind of merge it together. Because again, what typically happens when you're watching these makeup tutorials, oh my gosh. If I think that the, what am I trying to say? If I think the foundation is bad, I definitely think people overdo concealers. And sometimes I tell myself, oh, well, maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe it doesn't look that much. But then when I read the comments and I watch other videos, I hear other people say the same thing. So I'm thinking, okay, it's not just me. Now, it's not to say the reaction videos he does and the stuff I'm saying here is not to bash anyone or throw shade. It's just that I want people to understand you don't have to do all that. That's my whole channel. If you look at my channel, it's all about simplicity. I use the least amount of products as I can to achieve like a flawless look. And you know, this is what I do every day. What I show you guys on here It's what I do every day for my face. And I get a lot of compliments. Customers ask me, who does your makeup? And I try not to take offense to that. But I'm just like, so you think I get a makeup artist to do my makeup every day? I mean, if I had the ability to do that, I mean, I am a makeup artist, but still, if I had the ability to pay for one, I would not be working here. I'm just saying. Like, I would not be working at the job I work at because obviously I have money. Why would I be working there? I mean, come on. All right. Anywho, so I didn't do that. As you see, I still do my concealer as I want to. Again, all this is based off of what you want to do, what works best for your face. I don't use a lot of concealer to begin with. And I also, if you notice, I don't blend right away underneath directly under my eyelid. I do blend down and blend all these areas first. Sometimes I'll even come down here, like if something didn't cover, I'll use, because I don't use color corrector, this is why you use it. I will, drag some of that product off and then I'll go up under the eye. So I try not to use a lot of product underneath my eyelid. Because as I said before, you use all that product on and it's not soaking in, that's what causes caking. So when you're using excessive amount of product and it's not really blending in, soaking in, then it eventually is going to start caking on you once it really settles. And it'll settle on the fine lines and all that kind of good stuff. Alright, so this is another thing that I've changed in my routine based off of his reaction videos. I am guilty. He doesn't like baking. I am guilty. I am guilty of baking because, like I said, I feel like by baking, I keep my my oil at bay longer. But it turns out doing this method, my oil, is at bay as well. So basically, I'm just doing a light dusting. He doesn't like powder, but underneath the eye, but I still just want it because I really get oily under there. So he just feels like when you put powder on top of a liquid, it congeals it, makes it into like a paste, and then that causes creasing. So if you do still, like myself, want to but to set that area with a powder, light dusting. Like as you saw, I just use my brush, light dusting, just making sure that that area is really set and looks really flawless underneath there. Now, he does say, now you still can use a powder on your face, so you want to set your face. If you have oily skin only, you still want to set your face with a powder. But if you don't have oily skin, or even on the areas on your skin that aren't oily, you don't need a powder. You've already used your setting spray. You've already set everything in place. And you should be using a long wear foundation. So if you're doing all that, it's not necessary to powder your entire face. That way you can avoid any weird textures on your face by not excessively using powder. You still can use, like I said, if you have a pretty much clear skin, you still can use face powders all over your face because you're not using foundation. So you can still mattify your face or just give yourself that clean, fresh face by using powder. Also, if you don't like foundation, let's say you're not a foundation person, you think it's too heavy, you feel like your skin can't breathe, what may have you, you can always still use a little bit of concealer where you need it, and then you can still do it all over face powder because you didn't use a foundation. So you can use a powder as your foundation. They also have powder foundation. So it's up to you, just whatever your preference is, just use that. Now, I am still going to not set my face, but I am still going to spray on the rose water. You can use rose water as a setting spray, so it's not like, this one's organic, so it's not like I'm using chemicals like a setting spray. I'm using something natural on my face just to restore moisture, just to set. I still feel like you need to set, I keep saying that, but just to kind of settle everything and just to make the face look really nice and pretty. So that is it. that's what I changed. I don't use powder all over my face. I use powder beforehand, and I use setting spray beforehand, and then put everything on top. If you want, yesterday what I did is I didn't let the setting spray dry down all the way. Today I was talking so much in this video, but every day I would just kind of let it get like anything, your bases you want to give them. Oh, sorry, I got rose water in my eye. I would just, you know, spray it down and, what am I trying to say, guys? Yeah, I lost train of thought. It's just like any base you want to get tacky so it can grip the product. So I would allow the setting spray not to dry fully, and then go ahead and put on your foundation. Another thing you can do that I mentioned before is to spray, get a palette or your hand, whatever you want to do, spray some, put your foundation on that you're going to use, spray some setting spray in there, mix it together, and then put it on. You can definitely do that. Oh, this is getting in my eye. You can definitely do that if you don't want to just spray the setting spray directly on your face, and that way it will really make sure that your foundation sets and doesn't move throughout the day. But the setting spray probably directly on the face is better because you're kind of creating a barrier to keep that oil at bay. Again, this is for people with oily skin. You know, you put that powder on, put the setting spray on, it creates that barrier, then put your foundation on. And then if you have dry skin, what you can do is you can do, ooh, oh my gosh, I forgot I had cleaned out, oh no, I forgot I had cleaned up my daughter got in a palette and she got all that over it. Anyway, sorry guys. But yeah, if you have dry skin, you can mix that setting spray into your foundation and put that on, and you can do that as well. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, I got this all over my hands. I'm going to go ahead and finish everything off camera, and then, you know, I'll show you guys the completed look. But other than that, I haven't changed anything else. So I'm done. I'm not going to use powder. You can use powder throughout the day for oily skin types. So I would suggest investing in some oil blotting papers. Blot your face first, then apply the powder. You don't want to apply powder all over on top of oil that's still on your skin. It makes the texture look gross, and it just, all this work you did to get this flawless base, you're going to ruin it by just putting oil on top, putting powder directly on top of the oil. So make sure you remove the oil off your face. Use, if you don't have blotting papers or you ran out, you know, use some toilet paper and lightly kind of press it in and pick up any of that oil off your face. You can use paper, like regular paper. Blotting paper is a little better because sometimes you can get the charcoal ones that will attract the oil off your face. But just make sure you're blotting it somehow, and then apply a little bit of powder product back to those areas. And then I like to keep the rose water, like the mini one, with me, and then I'll just respray that on my face so that it doesn't look too, not too cakey, but it just doesn't look powdery and cake or anything like that. Alright guys, so I hope this was beneficial. I try to really keep this short, but like I said, it was a lot of detailed information. And if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them down below. Let's discuss. What do you think about when you watch different videos? Do you do exactly what they do? Do you feel like you use a lot of product when you shouldn't? You know, let's have a discussion. And again, I'll go over all of this in my live, so that way we can have a live discussion back and forth. And then if there's anything I change between now and then, I can let you guys know. Alright, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications when a new video is headed your way. And I will see you guys later. Bye.
I wanna be close. Why don't